Hello and welcome. I'm Fidelis Nuka II of the Alkalign Lifestyle Wellness Center. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about some real world topics today. Things that y'all are hearing in the news, things that it's been going on like crazy in 2024. But I'm going to connect as best I can the consciousness being raised to the current events in our society, especially in Los Angeles, California, if you're out here in the Western world. So before we begin, like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and you'll be notified. Click the bell, be notified to when we post new content, all that wonderful stuff. All right, let's start off right off the bat. So, first topic I want to discuss is music. Okay, first topic I want to discuss is music, and the reason why is because I believe in the power of subconscious programming, and I believe in the power of programming to the extent that music can drive you to do things that you never planned to do, that you never wanted to do, and drop you into a destiny that you never wanted to be in. And literally, as you are born, you're downloading the music that your parents have already been listening to. So inherently, you wake up out of like a dream state into like this 3D world, and whatever they liked, you naturally like because you download their programs. So it's basically like subconscious programming takes over your entire world before you even have a world created. From ages 0 to 7, subconscious programming, this is from Dr. Bruce Lipton, and any scientific, new science, excuse me, we're gonna get to new science. So let me always have a disclaimer. I talk about the new science. I don't talk about textbook things and McGraw-Hill textbooks and physical sciences, and I don't talk about any of that. That stuff is all trash to me. It's all lies to me. And mainly I've seen people who I thought had a lot of knowledge suffer in their life. So if you have all the knowledge, why are you suffering? It's because you don't know something. So whatever they taught you was wrong. I don't play that. I do experimentation. I focus on experimentation. I focus on accredited research. That's the stuff that I focus on, not your university because it's Harvard or Yale, or I could care less. It doesn't matter to me. I want to see who people really have gone through the process to experiment with their lives and see how this stuff works. So the gentleman is named John Stuart Reid. I think he's a British guy named John Stuart Reid. He's basically the creator of this invention called the Simonscope. Cymatics is a big thing in my healing and also a big thing in how I teach people how to heal themselves from themselves. Cymatics was one of the biggest things because I understood that sound, frequency, and vibration was how this entire thing is made. This entire universe is governed in space. Nothing is empty space. It's all full of something. So now I start to understand that I'm the sound that's walking around like a stereo, playing some sort of music or some sort of tone that can either attract people to me or repel people from me. And so now I'm telling you that literally, culture-wise, let's talk about culture-wise, and music and culture-wise. I mean, I'm obviously black. Okay, I was born in Lafayette, Louisiana, right down south, the deep south. That's the deepest area, pretty much central Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana. I grew up in the mid-90s. I'm 41 years old, so I grew up in the mid-90s. You know, No Limit Soldiers, Master P, Cash Money Millionaires, Death Row Records, Bad Boy Records, as you know, Puffy Combs and Diddy, or whichever one you want to call them. Yeah, I had all these different Rough Riders, even that Def Jam, I think it was. Rap, it was a lot of hip hop and rap. And Southern rap is different than every other type of rap, just because the genre we talk about, things like that. But if you ever look up the story of No Limit Soldiers and Master P, the majority of his record label is dead or in jail. Yeah, even his brother, his name is C Murder. That's not his actual name though, but his brother that was a rapper as well in jail. And it puts into perspective, what are y'all programming yourselves to go do? What are you telling yourself to go do? And you hear the NWAs and people glorify this stuff, this low vibrational music, this low vibrational stuff. They glorify robbing and stealing and killing and drinking and fornicating, having multiple sexual partners. And Baby mamas and baby daddies. It's the worst possible thing. Actually, I'll get to that in a moment. But what I'm saying is, a lot of rap music, hip hop music, it's not fun anymore. I don't even know if it ever was fun, but for the majority of it's just been bad things, low vibrational things. People glorify that. It's on the underside of a spectrum. It's not the healthy, wealthy, it's not the creational, imaginative perspective that you would think. And I remember hearing this journalist, they were talking a lot about this at Tupac Shakur. I used to love Tupac for his poetry and his acting. He was awesome. Some of his music, but not most, the majority of it, because a lot of it was very combative type of stuff and fight music. But also some of the music that he made, this was low vibrational stuff. The Notorious Big and all these people. I love their lyrically acclaimed, poetry. The way that they can rap and flow is awesome. But I think the greatest rapper on the planet in the universe is Eminem, and he's white. So obviously there must be a problem. You see what I'm saying? But people just don't look at it from that perspective. I'm telling myself that affirmations are what make or break a person. The way that you speak to yourself, it basically expresses outwardly in the physical the way that you think about yourself and the way that you think about the world. And the majority of rap music that I see, at least back in the day, because I moved from Lafayette, Louisiana to Atlanta, Georgia when I was 17. And instantly you go into fight music. I'm going to 2000, 2001, 2002, I'm graduating high school. And this is just fight music. It's Lil Jon, the East Side Boys, and everybody's fighting. No reason at all. They just fighting, man. I'm talking about it doesn't matter what you do, why you did it, but you fighting. And it was crazy to me that I'm going from one place where it's drugs and trap music, and they glorify trap music. It's called trap music. Like, what? Why in the hell would I glorify it? Like, why would you glorify that, right? Because it's like you're too pure. You're too nice, you're too calm, you're too peaceful. And people will have a problem with that because the majority of the world is probably not like that. And obviously, if I just told you about subconscious programming, from ages 0 to 7, you're being programmed by your, the people around you. You're the sum of the 5 people around you. And the reason why, I'll give you 2 again, the energy way of looking at it. If you have 2 people, like two rocks, right? So you have 2 rocks. You throw them both into the lake. 2 stones, throw them into the lake. These stones are going to hit the lake, hit the water into the lake, and they're going to radiate outwardly. All right, they're going to radiate outwardly. What happens is one stone's here, one stone's here. As it radiates here and radiates here, they're going to entangle with each other. So all of a sudden, you'll see entanglement. And how simplistic is this? That the entanglement of the one comes to the other. So say you've gone to a graduation. All right, I remember my graduation in high school way back when, right, 2002. And all kind of good energy. Everyone's celebratory. They're all happy that their child, is walking the stage, all this stuff, shaking hands, everything's going great. But then go to a funeral. Look at the entanglement of the funeral and the energy in the building, and then go to energy in the graduation. It's completely different. So what happens to people in that funeral, all the stress, all the anxiety, all the sadness, all the grief and the shame, it's going to be entangled with this entire group. They're going to be wired together. And literally, if you're not able to separate yourself in the way of perspective, you're not separate in terms of energy, because everyone's connected as a whole. That's how the matrix of space works. But if you don't look at yourself as the creator, you look at yourself as a victim, that's also an alignment. You can go to a grocery store and you can be in line with somebody who has a lack-based consciousness. And if you have lack inside your own mind, it's going to amplify the lack inside your own mind. Just because of how they feel, it's going to connect with how you feel. So music is the same thing to me. Because when you go into places and spaces and you have people fighting inside the club, people fighting in terms of resonance, they're in resonance with each other. It's because they have a certain amount of energy, space, and entanglement with themselves, a certain amount of cortisol, inflammation, inflammatory response, acidic behavior. And that acidic response and inflammatory behavior is going to go into you because it goes into your energetic field. You see, so everyone's walking around like a giant apple, like a giant torus pattern. They're walking around with this field of energy that radiates like this. Like, so if you have like a sphere, like a spherical ball, like a giant earth, because I'm basically like the earth, but I'm walking around and I'm like a torus pattern. It's going from here and all the way here, and it's just going all the way through. It's just radiating all the way through like a torus pattern. So if you have stress and pain and anxiety and all these things happening to you, all of a sudden you go into a different person and you go into a person next to you. That person will now feel all the pain and anguish and anxiety that you have inside of you. I'm telling you right now, it's entanglement. It happens. So if you have a team that's all locked in, right? Say you have a basketball team, a football team, or whatever, track and field, swimming, and you're all locked into one common goal. All of you guys are wired and entangled with this energy that's going to go a certain way. But say you guys have a different frequency, like a different radio station that you guys are tuned into, right? Everybody's separate. Everyone's going this way, this which way, this which way. You're never going to have any harmony. You can't reach harmony. But sometimes you don't want to be in harmony. You don't want to be in harmony with something that's bad for you. And that's what music does to you. You go to a concert, you've seen these concerts that people go, they get stampeded on or trampled on and they die. It's crazy to think that you would go to a concert to enjoy yourself with some music and then you wind up dying. You go to these places like the Coachellas and stuff like that, or the Country Thunders and stuff. It's great, it sounds great. You get to hear your favorite artist, but you realize that these people are programming you. They have their own affirmations playing through themselves. They're saying their own things. They're literally doing their own thing, and they're programming you. So your favorite artist is your programmer, because your favorite artist tell you how to see the world, because you're seeing the world through their eyes, not through your own eyes. You forgot that you had your own perception. You are your own creator. You literally forgot that. Probably the worst song, now that I'm looking back at it now, and I used to enjoy all this stuff, man, 3-6 Mafias and all this stuff, and they had this song called Baby Mama. It's my baby mama. They had a song, and so the lady would come up and she would say, "It's my baby daddy," and then they would just start talking crazy about each other. He be always broke, and he ain't no good, and all this stuff. And it was like, what? And like, you think about it now, people, especially in the Black culture, they glorify having multiple partners. I read this thing, they said Tyreek Hill has 10 kids. I'm like, who's Tyreek Hill? Well, I looked him up, I was like, oh, he's a wide receiver. He's a guy played for the Dolphins now. He used to play for the Chiefs. Awesome, amazing athlete. Man, you got 10 kids? What you got 10 kids for? Why are you having like 3-4 babies in the same year with multiple women? Ain't you married? I'm like, damn. I'm just like thinking, why is that okay? Like, why is it okay? I don't know why that's okay. I don't know why it's okay for you to have a baby mama just walking around. I don't know why it's okay. Like, who says that you can't have commitment? Like, what happened to commitment? It's just kind of awkward to me. And I'm seeing it from both sides. The men don't have commitment because women don't have commitment. The women don't have commitment because the men don't have commitment. Well, damn. You shouldn't have a relationship then until you get in full connection with loyalty and commitment to yourself. And that's also why you don't see people sticking to their own dream. Everybody's checking for somebody else's business. No one's minding their own business. If you just sat with yourself for a moment and found out what you do well, found out, what you really like, whom you really like, who you really want to be like, it'll be really easy, a masterclass in how to go get something that you really enjoy. How to go find something that you really enjoy. Because you know you can have it. Because you know you can be it. As you're becoming it, then you're going to have it. But when they put that song out, it was in the early 2000s, it seemed to make it okay. And so now it's like the music, look, I don't deal with the police either, because I don't get in trouble anymore. I used to, because I was playing trap music, trapping myself into situations that were foolishness for me. I remember 2000, I think it was 2005, man. I had my roommate at the time. He was my ex-girlfriend's friend, and she wanted a dog. So he was able to go, hook her up with this dog. He found a guy that had puppies and everything. He went and got her this dog. And I remember he also got another dog, and I know how to take care of it. I was so ruthless and just an idiot. And I was always pushing the dog away, kicking the dog, get out my space, move out the way, all this stuff. I was just so awful to this animal. Awful, man. I was 21, 22 years old. I never had a pet in my life at this moment, but I was just stupid. And I remember calling this girl I was talking to at the time, and I said, "Can you please come pick up this dog? Because I'm struggling right now. Like I'm not doing this dog. I'm not doing right by this dog. Can you come pick this dog up?" She came. She got the dog. I'm sure the dog had a wonderful time. I went to go see her one more time, and the dog was so afraid of me because of how I mistreated her. When she was younger. She was like crying whenever she saw me because I was just so awful to her. I felt so bad. And I told myself I'm never gonna be that way ever again. I remember later on that year we came to LA for the first time. I was living in Phoenix, Arizona at the time, and we came to LA to pick up. He had a red-nosed pit bull. Her name was Princess. Awesome dog, and we were staying kind of on the south side of Phoenix, so staying a little bit kind of in the hood, low vibrational space, right? He wasn't really there because he was staying in his girlfriend's house, but I stayed with the dog most of the time because the dog was awesome. And I remember he had his master plan. It wasn't his plan, it was somebody else's plan, a friend of his girl or something. They were like, "Hey, we gonna go hit a lick, and go get all this stuff." For those of you that don't know, hit a lick means kick somebody's door in, take all the stuff, leave. And they needed somebody to kick the door in, so they asked me to do it. And I had came in from class. I remember I was going to junior college at the time. Came in from class and I literally went in there, kicked the door in. They went in there, took whatever they took, TVs, whatever they took, man. And I also remember, I think I took like a subwoofer. I didn't have anything to take. They were like, "Here, just take these speakers." I'm not gonna do anything with speakers. I took them and just held on to them, but I didn't do anything with them. But yeah, man, 2 weeks after that, it's like you're waiting for something to happen to you, waiting for something bad to happen to you, right? And then 2 weeks after that, I come back from class and there's windows broken and the dog is gone. The TVs was gone and all that, but the dog was gone. I remember leaving the dog right where she was at. She was in the kitchen space. And I just remember just sad, just crying, just sad, just like they took the dog. Like, and I'm just asking God, like, why you took the dog though? And it's like, you just took this stuff from the people. They may have cared about the stuff that they had. You cared about the dog, so the dog got to go. And I just remember, man, being so sad because I was listening to this dumbass music, this stupid music that was programming me to some stupid destiny, and it was having me do stupid things. And I wasn't fully aware of it. I stopped playing most of it at the time, but not all of it. And I remember, just at that time being so down, so low. And my music at the time, music can make you eat bad food. Music can make you say bad things. Music can make you do a whole lot of bad stuff. And it's just like the Pied Piper. I mean, it's just like some R. Kelly stuff. You playing the flute and you following the person. That's what R. Kelly is. He's a Pied Piper. He calls himself that. He's playing the flute and the people following it because they're under a spell. The music puts you in a spell. That's what binaural beats and things do. But you want to have a good spell. You want to cast a good spell through your headphones to go into your brain, not a bad spell. And I see too many people posting, they're casting a bad spell of negativity. They go down a pathway of negativity. And you start to see people who are so acidic. There's acidic music, fight music, all right? You ever heard heavy metal? Yeah, you must have heavy metal inside your body too if you're gonna be playing that stuff. Because you can't have no peace and harmony. That's ballroom stuff. You go down to Beverly Hills, you got the ballroom and you got the Frank Sinatras and the smooth things playing, even like the jazz. You don't want the blues because blues is sad. But that's the culture. That came also in a time where people were basically singing slave hymns and things like that. I don't want to sing that stuff no more. You gotta sing positive, happy songs with positive vibrations in the back of them. You can't have that negative stuff anymore. It's just not good. So music, man, that baby mama, baby daddy song, you see people now, they glorifying Futures and Drakes. And I mean, look, y'all got talent in music, that's great. But as far as being a man and being a father, you're an idiot because you got too many of these damn baby mamas. Let me tell you about sex and how you going in to go find multiple partners. You open portals for every woman and man that you have sex with. So you got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 baby mamas. Come on, man. You got all these different portals. Your mind is racing the entire time. You just going through it. You going through it. You never have any peace of mind. Unless you can find a way to organize your thought process like a filing cabinet and organize your way and send great energy to each one of them. If not, man, look, you're gonna be in for one hell of a ride, and you're the one that caused it. Same thing, especially with the woman. Think about how you see these families, right? Like the Kardashians and things. Wonderful people, I'm sure, but not wonderful in terms of energy, no, because they entangle themselves with each other. So you sleeping with each other's partners, and then you wonder why someone's caught cheating with such and such, or someone's caught with such and such, and it's like, oh, my ex-boyfriend is your now boyfriend, and you was cheating on me with this person behind my back with this person, but they're all entanglement. It's all based upon entanglement. You download all the hard drive for this person that you have sex with. You may not even know the person. You may walk in the grocery store at random. Then some person that you meet may be entangled with this person that you had sex with. You don't know. You don't know who the person is, but you just energetically, you now open up a portal. So now you got all the files, like a downloaded hard drive beside it. They downloaded their hard drive, you downloaded their hard drive. So men, you got the flash drive, you got the penis, you stick it into the woman's hard drive. And then the women have a base, like a hard drive that takes the files from your, sperm or whatever you want to give to her, seed, and then it creates a software program. Now it can create a new program, a new person in this field of space. It's crazy. It's all based upon resonance. So you're going to attract to you the people that are in harmony with you, but that's why music is so powerful. So just, be cognizant, be not cognizant, but be intentional about what you listen to, because music is powerful, man. There are no more baby mamas and baby daddies, man. That stuff is stupid, especially, you black and you African American, and whatever you want to call yourself, all right? I'll say our culture is in trouble if we don't figure out how to get these rappers and artists to change over. They're speaking fragments out loud. So I hear this music now, it's just fragments. There's no instruction based upon any of it. It's just fragments. That's all it is, just fragments. And that's how people's brains are. It's not working correctly. They're speaking in fragments the entire time. I used to stutter all the time and speak in fragments because I thought I had to. My energy was so blocked, my flow was so stopped up. I was so afraid to tell the truth and speak in truth because I was looking at everybody on the outside of me. And I was always concerned about judgment from other people. Now I just don't give a fuck. I don't care. You can judge me if you want to. You like me if you want to. I don't care. I'm just telling you the truth. The majority of people just don't look at themselves with high value. I know I'm high value. I don't need to go out there to go find somebody to affirm my high value. I affirm it daily. So play some music that's gonna benefit you. It's not gonna hinder you, put you in a trap any type of way. And that also comes down from cleansing your cells. So this whole video right now is basically talking about cleansing your cells, because you need to cleanse your cells to understand why you're still stuck inside some old school pattern. And I'm telling you the patterns that you can see. So first of all, what's music? Now let's talk about mentors. People whom you follow, you're in resonance with, you're in harmony with. In some way, shape, or form, you're in harmony with them. You can find a billionaire who's conscious. You can find a millionaire who's conscious. You can find an athlete who's conscious. But the majority of aren't. That's just the fact of the matter. The majority of them aren't. Shit, Diddy's a billionaire, right? Jay-Z, all these people are talking about scandals and all these things going on. These people are billionaires, 100 millionaires. Will Smith, the Smith family, all this stuff. These people are 100 millionaires. But y'all got so much going on, y'all didn't figure out your energy along the way. That now people that was following you for years, they're going through the same pathways because y'all the ones that told them it was okay, because they're following your example. because that's what mentors do. Mentors mentor you by showing what they do, and then you follow their example. And I'm seeing that Hollywood is crumbling, which is wonderful, because it doesn't need to be on a pedestal anymore. Because think about Hollywood, all right? All Hollywood is a big subconscious programming system. That's what it is. Do you understand why you have the lions roar in the beginning of all the movies in Hollywood? Because the lions roar, the lion's the king of the jungle. So Leo the lion, Leo the Lionheart. Okay, so think about Leo in terms of the zodiac signs. Leo is the one that governs the entire zodiac. Leo owns the zodiac. So when you hear the lions roar, you're instantly, shielded up, because you're like, oh my gosh, the lion is the leader, is the king of the jungle, right? That's why you hear, whenever the movie first starts, you get a lion's roar. You see what I'm saying? It's just another way of programming. And that's what the holly tree is, the magic wand. The magic wands are made from holly trees. And so you start to understand that it's all about subconscious programming. It's programming your mind. Now, if you understand how to get your mind back, you pick your mentors wisely. I, since 2016, been on a pathway of really just opening up my consciousness and my awareness to my mind. So I've been choosing different people: Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, who else? Quantum physicist Nassim Haramein. Let's see, Billy Carson, Greg Braden. Oh my gosh, I got so many, Dan Pena, $1 trillion man. Just different people whom I've figured out freed themselves from indoctrination. They just don't care. Dr. Robert Morse, Yaki Awaken, these people who've gone into the alkaline space. So I'm in this alkaline space talking about healing and everything, but I'm not sitting there saying I'm a certified herbalist and I'm a doctor. I don't care about all that. I just care about healing people with the truth. I care about experimenting with the truth. For 3 years, I've gone through experimentation and done these processes. I've done it on myself first. I was the first person to do it. I was a guinea pig. Then I passed it out to everybody else to see if it's going to help them, and it has. You have to be the person that says experimentation, integration. You have to go into experiment first, then you integrate, then you express outwardly, and then it's transcendence. You can now upgrade yourself. You go into experiment with different things, like multiple times, research, just put yourself into a different mindset. But that changes your mentors, people who you're following, because you're only following their outline. You're following their outline as yourself. Matthias De Stefano, I love Matthias. He's awesome because he just tells the truth, his truth. But his truth is also a portion of our truth. So when you hear people speak and they're telling you all these things on podcasts, and everyone pretty much has the same story. They've gone through a process and they've gone through something and they've done something, right? And they've gone to achieve new heights and they've gone to do new things and greater things, but they've had to go through something. You have to come down in order to come up. You have to have new strength. So you have to coil yourself like a spring, and then you can jump, and then you can soar. But you gotta take the leap of faith out and jump off the cliff. A leap of faith is not hard. A leap of faith is just a leap of self-discipline. Because the higher version of you is the self-disciplined version of you. The higher version of you is the one that's disciplined enough to do the thing until the thing works. It doesn't concern yourself with how this is gonna work, how this is gonna happen, it doesn't concern yourself with that. It just says, sit there and do the thing that you're supposed to do. Surrender to the new thing and go with that process and go the new way and stop deviating from it. Stop deviating from it. It'll keep you where you're supposed to be. It'll keep you where you're supposed to be. Just don't concern yourself with that. Just keep doing what you're supposed to do. Keep on showing up. Keep on sending the things out. That's how it's supposed to happen. It's nature. You follow the rules of nature. So my original mentor is the garden. Just nature, because I understand that the Garden of Eden is any garden, but it's mainly the garden inside my mind. The seeds that I plant are my thoughts. So I plant thought seeds, and my thought seeds grow into fruitful trees, or they grow into whichever one, ditches, covered by dirt. Which one do I want? I want fruit trees so I can seed and I can feed everybody with my fruit. That's what I want. So if you don't look at yourself as a fruit tree, you're never gonna figure out how this works. You're gonna be picking the wrong mentors. I just told you about music. Many of you have celebrities and singers, right? Athletes. Tell me one conscious athlete that's on the cover of some holistic brand of food. You go into the grocery store right now, you see all the Lakers, Anthony Davises, the LeBrons, they're all on Sprite boxes and Lay's and Ruffles, potato chips, shit food, processed trash, garbage. And I love them. I think they're awesome. They're awesome at their craft. They're awesome. But you're representing garbage, and they got to rectify that. Why does everybody, when they get a certain amount of money, go make a tequila or go make an alcohol? For what? For what reason? Like, why y'all making poison to put inside your body? For what reason? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. To me, it doesn't make sense. To them, it might make sense. That's fine. But to me, it doesn't make any sense. Because all it's causing is disruption. Alcohol is bad in any way, shape, or form. There's no way for you to tell yourself that it's good, because it's been proven it's bad. It causes chaos in your consciousness, and it causes you to not be present. And I think that is awful. I think that is awful. You cannot connect yourself the right way. I think it's not healthy. So for the majority of people's mentors, you should go back and look at the people whom you've been following, whether it be your mom or your dad or your brothers or sisters. You should probably look at the mentors and say, how has it served my life? Am I where I want to be? You can ask yourself based upon people you've been following because of entanglement. Like I told you, you are the sum of the 5 people who you are around the most when you were born through age 7. Some facts about that: from 0 to 2, you're in delta. So your brainwave state is basically like you're in deep sleep. From, let's go 0 to 2, then 2 to 4, you're in theta, which is basically the time right before you fall asleep into deep sleep. And then from, like, you can say 4 to 6, you can say you're in alpha, which is gonna be like daydreaming. And I'm sitting here, I'm just daydreaming, I'm just amongst myself, taking my time. And then right when you get to 7, you start to program and lock into beta, which is basically like real time me talking to you right now. So as you're growing up, all you're doing is downloading information from the people around you, from the environment around you. You don't know anything. You came in here, you don't know anything. So your job is literally to remember who you are and forget everything that you've learned along the way, because it's trash, it's garbage. That's why you're tasked with forgetting everything. And then you go back to remember who you really are, And I think this is a quote from Maya Angelou. She talks about the untold story. Everyone has an untold story, and that's pretty much what's eating you up inside. It's your untold story. But let's keep going. So, truth in Hollywood. I talked about that just a little bit. But Hollywood's the programmer, subconscious programmer. So now all of a sudden your conscious space is now being programmed into the truth, which is wonderful. You see like the WNBA, feminine athletes are coming in. You got the Angel Reese from LSU and Caitlin Clark from Iowa. Man, these women are phenomenal, but they're also feminine women, and it's wonderful. I think it's awesome because now it attracts the right crowd, because you have the feminine aspect being attractive to the right crowd. It's no more these transgender idiots walking around. I think that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. I am an athlete. We're in the same sport that I used to play, but I'm still an athlete. I think it's the dumbest thing imaginable to have a man complaining and crying to be a woman and a woman complaining and crying to be a man. What in the hell? Did y'all just, did somebody bump your head against something? Like, why y'all doing that? So I'm trying the hardest to be like my partner. She's trying the hardest to be like me. Why? We both have masculine and feminine energy. Masculine, you can say, is the goal and the vision and the purpose. And then the feminine is the creation aspect, because women are the ones that give birth. And men don't give birth to anything. Women are the ones that are connected strictly to the divine right now. So if you see it from that aspect, you change how you look at yourself 100%. But I'm going places, I'm walking through West Hollywood one time on the way to Beverly Hills, and I'm seeing all these gentlemen, but they're not gentlemen, they're women. They're acting like women, literally. And somebody told me that was okay. Listen now, if you the last 3, 4, men and women on this planet, you better figure out a way to find this person attractive and keep this generation working, because you're going against the rules. You're going against the laws of nature. You need positive and negative to make this battery go. Positive and negative. You need the protons up top, photons. It's emitting light up top. You have the electrons on the bottom. So the ground's going to be electrically charged. You're going to have the space and the air above the ground, which is going to be positively charged. That's just how it works. That's how it works. You've got to have both energies in order to move forward. So do not think for one moment that is okay, because it's not. So I'm so grateful that they have feminine athletes coming up, and they're just getting they're just getting it done. You know, I'm just tired of seeing these soft guys. You know, they talk about the soft era. Guys talking about that. I'm in my soft, soft era. Shut that shit up. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Look, if somebody's in a burning building, if the animal is hanging off the window or something in a burning building, you ain't gonna go run to save the animal? I would hope that you would take your shirt off and go charging up in there like a hero, because you're supposed to be something like that, and go rescue somebody. Don't be sitting there calling the phone saying, "Where's my helper?" Fool, you are the helper. Go rescue somebody and be a hero. Stop being a damn zero and an idiot and a damn fool. I just think it's crazy to me. You know, men fighting to be women, women fighting to be men. The reason why the WNBA, in my opinion, is thriving at this moment in time is because they now have feminine women who are now leading the charge. No, nobody want to see some butchy ass, lesbian women. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't want to watch someone look just like me. It doesn't make sense. I think that's foolishness. You want to have your own energy, and you've been so blocked up because you thought you had to be that way. Am I saying that it's their fault? Yes, because they have a choice to make. They can make the different choice that goes towards this way or goes towards this way, and it's based on entanglement. If you entangle yourself with a bunch of lesbian women, right, manly women, you're gonna be if you got 5 of them right next to you, then you're gonna be the 6th. That's just how it works. It's usually by entanglement. Think about it like in jail. That's just how jail works. I've heard crazy stories, and thankfully I'm not going. I've never been. Because I'm not doing anything stupid to be there. I'm a pleasant to have my freedom, but it's also because the truth makes you free. So people who are trying to be men, trying to be women, women trying to be men, you aren't living in truth. You aren't. There's no truth in any of that. So if you don't look at it from that perspective, you don't shift your perspective on why are you going against the actual natural order of things. It's just because you think there won't be any consequence, but there's consequences to that. There's consequences to that type of behavior. You're co-creating. You're creating in the image of God. But we didn't make this entire thing by ourselves. We co-created it with the Creator. See what I'm saying? You got to follow the Creator's rules. God don't love everybody, because everybody doesn't love God. I'll say it again. God does not love everybody, because everybody does not love God. So, you don't surrender to God? Why in the hell would God surrender to you? Excuse me, why in the heaven would God surrender to you? I don't say hell, because it doesn't exist for me. But why in the heaven would God surrender to you? And this is heaven right now. Really, you're experiencing heaven on earth right now. All of us are. So if you don't figure that one out, you're gonna miss the boat. You're gonna miss the train. You're gonna miss the bus. It's gone. It's gonna go, and it's not passing no more. If you don't figure out how to pay attention and get in line, you're experiencing heaven on earth right now. This is 7th dimension right here, right now. So let's keep going. There's a magic in self-discipline. There's a magic in self-discipline, and the magic is you do things repetitively to the best of your ability, at the highest form of your ability, with your passions behind it, and you don't care whatever happens on the back end. You just do it. You just express yourself in truth. You say what you want to say. You mean what you want to say. You have to say what you want to say, no matter what. You must say what you want to say, what you truly believe in. And when you do that, something happens for you. You begin to be even more free, and you vibrate at the level of authenticity, which is the fastest vibration, period. Gratitude is fast. Unconditional love is fast. But authenticity is you being you. That is unconditional love. You loving yourself enough to do what you really want to do, say what you really want to say, be who you really want to be. Yeah, that's truly authenticity. That's unconditional love and gratitude. It's a different form of energy as it travels through. So if you look at yourself from that perspective, you would really change over, you know, how you looked at discipline. It's not beating somebody with a belt or punishment. That's punishment. If you get punished by somebody and you get beat, you get grounded or whatever you want to call it. But and grounded, it sounds awful, but grounded is a great thing for you to go outside and get grounded. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just words. When people change the meaning of words, they change how you're perceiving things, and it's wrong, you know. But in that case of self-discipline, you need to have self-discipline because you have to stay on the same freeway journey. I've driven cross country about, I don't know, I think about 7 or 8 times I've driven cross country. 22 to 30 hours, pretty much. It just depends. Well, about 28 to 30 hours, excuse me. And you're just driving. You know you're gonna end up at your destination, but you just gotta keep on driving. You just gotta keep on going. It's taught me a lot about patience, and I did most of them by myself. You're just driving, you're just going by yourself, you're just driving, you're just driving, you're just driving. You get to zone yourself out, you get to think about what's on your mind. And driving, again, is a really good time to program yourself subconsciously. So recording your affirmations and playing them, writing them down, go home right now, write down 300 things that you desire to have. If you can have anything you want, just write it down and record yourself saying it. And then play them overnight as you're sleeping inside your headphones, and play them while you're driving inside your car. That's a really great way to program yourself subconsciously. But when you have self-discipline, you can't be stopped. Nobody's gonna stop your process. You can't be distracted because you know where you're going, you know when you're gonna go get it, you know how you're gonna go get it, you have a purpose, you have a plan, and you have the faith, which is basically the work. Faith is just work, applied faith, like Napoleon Hill said, it's just you doing the work to achieve the goal, to get the thing. That's it. So you have all of it in one. So once you have self-discipline, nothing can stop you. You start to organize your process and just do what you're supposed to do. You know, but there's dangers in when you overlook your mental health, when you overlook your health, period. Your gut controls your habits. So the psychology in your solar plexus is basically, your solar plexus is going to be your gut area. It controls how you see things in terms of your intuition. The seat of your intuition, I believe, is your gut, your solar plexus, because you have 12 cranial nerves inside your solar plexus that connects to all your human body's systems. All 12 systems of your human body are inside your solar plexus. It's like this huge like sun. That's why I believe it's called solar plexus, because it just radiates all outwardly, all into your entire mind and body, and it shares all the information with your mind and body. I think it's the most wonderful thing. So if you can look at it from that perspective, you shift how you look at your gut. You must change your patterns of eating. If you want to change your programming, right, and say, let me change how I'm perceiving everything going on, change your food, because your food will give you new information. That's how you raise your consciousness awareness, from doing the thing, changing the actual patterns. The patterns come from your patterns of eating. So it's not generational curses, you know, it's all epigenetics. If you guys don't know what the word is, Google it, epigenetics, E-P-I, and genetics, Genetics, genetics. Epigenetics is basically me thinking myself into a destiny. I can think myself sick, I can think myself well, think myself rich, think myself poor, whatever, think myself happy, think myself sad. It's up to you and how you think, because the thinking is gonna activate the genes. Your thinking process, what you believe, your perception, that's gonna be the switch. It's your perception. So what I believe about something, everyone's beliefs are completely different. Some people can believe that animals are good. Some people can believe that animals are bad. I used to believe that animals were just animals, right? Just nothing. Now I believe everything's connected to the same thing. So everything is the mind of God. I don't care if it's the mall, I don't care if it's the roof, I don't care if it's the floor, I don't care if it's the car, I don't care if it's the bus. It's all the mind of God. So when I'm walking around, I portray myself as I'm living my life as a prayer to God, saying thank you, being my authentic self, saying what I truly believe, what I truly feel. That's just how it is. I'm not here to disrespect anybody, I don't care. I'm just here to tell people the truth. I'm not afraid. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm trying to tell people the truth to free themselves. So if I tell the truth to them, then they can free themselves, you know? So if you don't focus on your patterns of eating, you're overlooking your mental health, because mental health is a direct correlation. It's a direct connection to your gut. Your mental is a direct connection to your gut. So take melatonin, for instance. You've fallen asleep. Who secretes the most melatonin inside your body? Your gut. 400 times more than your pineal gland. But people thought it was the third eye. Well, the third eye can wake you up. But if you go outside and it's 6 o'clock in the morning and the sun's raising up and everything, and your gut is going to be able to feel, as is your eyes, but you don't see with your eyes, you see with your brain. That's why your optic nerve is connected to your pituitary gland and pineal gland. So you start to look at yourself as your gut secretes 400 times more melatonin to put you to sleep at night. When you eat food, you instantly have this response that comes in from your gut and goes all the way out to your entire body to put you to sleep. I'm telling you, your gut's powerful. Your gut's powerful. Your solar plexus is powerful, and that's why the frequency of 528 hertz. I did a actual, when I first made my first invention, the constructive interference mask. I made this mask, and the whole point of it was 2010. There was a Gulf of Mexico oil spill. I'm from Louisiana, so oil spills are like every year they hide something else. BP and all these people, they hide it. My father used to work on an offshore rig for some time too, and you realize that oil spills are like this common thing, but they're awful. They're awful, man. You know, they affect the wildlife there and everything. And so what happened was this gentleman from Canada, him and his wife, I believe, they came down to the Gulf. He brought this huge thing full of sticks, this huge ship. Well, not huge like a tanker, but like a ship, like a boat, with speakers out everywhere. And he started playing sound frequencies out to the water. All of a sudden, he said for about 3-4 hours, he stayed out there just playing frequency. The next day, all the animals came back. All the oxygen was back into the water. He's like, well, what's going on? He changed the vibration of the water. Everything's sound, frequency, and vibration. If you walk into a room, you were sad and miserable. You went into a room full of positive, happy people, you will become happy no matter what was on your mind. But if you are a positive, happy person, you went into a room full of sad, mean, disgusted people, miserable people, man, you only got a certain amount of time. If you can't shield yourself from all that, it's going to engulf you. It's going to engulf you like entanglement. So be mindful about that. You know, so don't overlook your mental health and especially your gut, the health of your gut. So there's science behind alternative medicine. And the science that I'm seeing is that it's not alternative at all. It's the natural way of doing things. The alternative is the pill bottles. The alternative is the things that people don't pay attention to, but the alternative medicine is the medication that comes from the pills and the aspirin and the Tylenol. That's alternative medicine. It's not really medicine. That stuff is not meant to cure you at all. It's meant to, it's like a subscription to a prescription. That's what I call it, a subscription to a prescription, because it's not meant to get rid of anything, eradicate anything, dissolve anything. You're basically told like you're going to be on this for the rest of your life, but that's not true. There is no incurable disease. All diseases are curable. All cancers are curable. All autoimmune issues are curable. Now what they're doing is they're calling pretty much all autoimmune disease of some kind, like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, diabetes type 1 and 2, they're calling it type 3 and 4 and 5, because it's the inability for you to release the insulin from your mind. You have your own insulin. You shouldn't be taking in shots like this and stabbing yourself inside the gut to get the insulin. It's stupid. It's already not being accepted by your own self. Why would you start force more inside of a door? It doesn't make sense. You've got to fix the person that you are on the inside. You must purify yourself from the inside. And I'm seeing all these people with this carnivore stuff. Carnivore diet, which is also stupidity. It's stupid. It's lies. You can't have a carnivore diet. You aren't even a carnivore. The things that you're eating don't even eat meat. This is also crazy. You're eating cows and you're eating chickens and you're eating things that eat plants. They're supposed to eat grass, they're supposed to eat plants. You know, they're not carnivores of any kind. Not eating dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? I tried alligator one time. Back when I used to eat meat. I've been plant-based biologic for about the last 7 years. So in 2017, I stopped eating meat. April 2017. And I've been spending, well, the first month, it was tough because I was detoxifying myself. When I stopped eating meat, I like shrunk. And it was like squeezing all the toxicity out of me. I was like 195 pounds at the time, huge. I was swole of everything. I'm like 187 right now, 188. But at the time, you lose all your muscle mass. You get everything, it goes all away. You lose everything. Why? It's squeezing all the toxins out your body. I used to take protein shakes. I used to take all these energy shots. I used to take everything to give myself muscle mass. Man, look, you don't need that mess. That protein stuff, that's a myth. The whole protein system of telling people you need to have 2.2 or for every pound or something, you have to have this much amount of grams of protein. That's a lie. It's all crap. It's garbage. You don't need any of that stuff. Protein comes from plants. Literally, it comes from the plants. So the animals that eat it, they get it from the plants. So y'all are over here consuming the middleman instead of just going directly from the plants. It's stupidity. Makes no sense. Chlorophyll, these things that give you oxygen inside your blood and your body. You need these things. Kale, the more green the plants that you eat, the more chlorophyll that you're gonna get. That's the process of photosynthesis. The sun, it's radiating, it's beaming down on you, your solar plexus. Think about that. But you've been told to eat protein myth. It's foolishness. Your DNA is made of proteins, and you already have proteins. Use the ones that you already got. Maximize those. The DNA is made of that. You need amino acids, you need energy. It's all about energy. So you can change this on the basis of sound, frequency, and vibration. That's why binaural beats and things like that are so wonderful. Here's an exercise for you guys to do. Take a speaker, order a speaker from Amazon, $20. You can get a speaker. Take an auxiliary cord, go get an MP3 player. It's like a $40 setup. Get an MP3 player, download from YouTube all 9 solfeggio sound frequencies, 174 hertz to 953 hertz, from the root to the crown. And then just play them every night as you sleep. Stick the speaker under your bed or something. Just stick it under your mattress in between the box spring. Just play it. It'll vibrate your entire bed and your entire body. You'll have a little sound bath while you're going to sleep every night. Most wonderful thing. Just play it from each night. Just go up each night. Keep playing it. 174, 285, 396, 417, 528, 639, 741, 852, 963. Just keep playing it each night. Watch what happens to you. Do it for 30 days. Watch it. You're going to feel excellent 3 times over. And just keep starting the process over again. But people they don't understand alternative medicine is not what they think. Because alternative meds are the ones that are created by man-made in a factory. And the real medicine is the herb that you get. I made my 2 herbal formulas, Awaken and Replenish, and Platinum, actually the 3 formulas. All of them come from the earth. I got all the ingredients from Bibles and ancient texts, and I want to see what herbs are the cleansers. They really go purify your system, right? All the body's 12 systems, I purified all of them. And I started to realize that I didn't get this from looking up Tylenol and ibuprofen. I looked up what the earth gives to me to heal myself. That's the trick. So when you're looking at prescription drugs, they're the killers. I want you to look at the correlation between mass shootings and prescription drugs. The all of them, every one of them. I look at the research. Every one of them, at least from the last couple of years, every person that's been a mass shooter, man or woman, has been on some sort of prescription drug. They ain't gonna sit there and take a correlation between that because they want to say, oh, it's the NRA, it's the guns. Look, fine. Should anybody have guns? I don't think so. I don't think you need to have any kind of guns. If you can't fight, then you a coward. Go get some hands. Go learn how to get some hands and some feet. And use that as your guns if you want to. But if you can't get no hands and feet, then you a coward. You don't be sniping people. Most of those people are cowards to me. So you don't need to have no damn guns like that. If you gotta protect something, that means you hiding something, then you not living in truth. So already I know that you are the wrong person I don't want to be around. But medicine's not the answer, because these meds that people are making, the pharmaceutical companies, look, man. If you guys read the Abraham Flexner report, which I've got a chance to read, I downloaded it. You can Google Abraham Flexner report 1910. It's the most racist thing I've ever seen. And my sister went to med school. And still to this day, I'm like, I'm not even upset. Actually, I just she chose that pathway. But she went to historically black college, as they call it, but it wasn't historically black at all. Not in my opinion. There is something that's historically black because it has to be funded by somebody white, because you can't have anything. If you were in slave times, there would be no way for you to make a university or a college. There'd be no way. You have to get somebody to fund you, to help you, because that's just how it was made. That's just how it was made. That's how the system was made. From FAMU to Howard University, they all have some sort of correlation with somebody white. So there's nothing historically black about any of that stuff, in my opinion. I'm sharing with you guys my opinion. Y'all find fact checking, do whatever the hell y'all want. I'm just telling y'all that I've gone through the process of being able to experience these things for myself, and I'm not interviewing with any of it. I think it's all lies. So mainly meds are the things that are killing you. People don't want to say that, but they need to. Somebody needs to come out there and say these things don't work. It's sound, frequency, and vibration. Raise the vibration of your cells, and you'll change the structure of your entire body. That's just 100% how it works. I don't believe any other way. I believe if you can change the vibration of your cells, and that's through changing your food, changing what you're consuming on a daily basis, changing what you're saying, affirmations that you're playing, you do different things. You begin to do different things and go to a different way. That's 100% the truth, in my opinion. So medicine was never created to cure anybody, because the majority of meds that Rockefeller's associates and himself and Andrew Carnegie and all these people that were rich and wealthy back in 1910, 1920s, they were the ones that funded all of this stuff. Abraham Flexner, they basically said accredited universities were allowed to get money from them if they followed their protocol and their ways of healing, but it wasn't healing. You see, look at heart disease. You didn't get any of these things until the early 1900s. So why all of a sudden does everybody get all these things happening to them? And not that they weren't sick before, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that literally they industrialized it. They made it to where it's like a protocol now. So now all of a sudden, the first thing that you do is you go answer back cancer with chemotherapy. I can tell you, my wife, she worked for a cancer clinic that was supposed to be holistic, but they had chemotherapy there. What the hell's holistic about that? That doesn't even make sense. Either you do it all or you don't do it at all, in my opinion. Either you do it the whole way, you go one way, put the holistic way, with the whole WH, holistic, or you don't do it at all. Just the scam behind that. I just don't believe that. And so you have things that your doctor won't tell you. It's sound, frequency, and vibration. How important your solar plexus is. Why food is medicine. First of all, because they don't know. I'll tell you that. My sister went to med school. She didn't know about nutrition like that. She eats shit food. She ate shit food. She ate Oreo cookies and garbage like that, trash. Candies and shit. It's like you're addicted to that stuff. And what happens to you when you have that pattern of eating, you have that pattern of behavior, you're not free from your energy. Something happened to you in your some traumatic experience happened to you, stored energetically inside your body, you didn't get rid of it. And that's also what happens if you don't cleanse your cells. You need to cleanse your cells. Intracellular cleansing is 100% correct. It's 100% real. CB and these people who made these things. I made my own, and you've got to go through the process of cleansing, because if you don't cleanse the cells are like record keepers in the library. I look at the library like my cells are like all these books inside the library, but the library is me. I'm the library. And the cells are each individual book. All right, they're in each individual section. Some cells do this, some cells do that. Some cells make tissue, some cells make muscle. Some cells, enhance my organs. Some cells give me energy. Whatever it is, they have a different function. But they're all like the books inside the library. If you don't sit there and go through and go read each section and organize the section the way it's supposed to be, you have a problem, because these prescription drugs are going to kill you. So if people ask me what's better, holistic or conventional, conventional is trash. Conventional is garbage. But holistic, if it's not done with the right intention, can also not be effective if it's not done with the right intention. But I believe it's done with the right intention, so that's why you basically have a placebo effect. And a placebo effect is basically a belief effect, which is why pharmaceuticals, I believe, even work. They work because of the power of the mind. They don't work because they're inherently supposed to work. That's not it. It's the power of the mind is so strong and so powerful that it overtakes everything that you've done and how you've been. And that's what I think is the most powerful thing. The power of the mind is the most powerful thing. That's why you can talk about universal laws, right? But universal laws isn't really anything. It's one law, right? They say there's 7 laws of the universe. There are 9 laws of the universe, 12 laws. It's like, no, there's one law. Everything is mind. But it's split up into 7. And the reason why is because you have to split it up into each stage of a chakra energy wheel, front and back. Chakras go from the front to the back. So it's a wheel all the way around in a circle, all the way around. So you have your crown, which is going to be your top, it's your pituitary, tells you how to feel. Then you have your pituitary, which is going to be your third eye, or your pineal, which is going to be your third eye. All right, so you have your thinking, which is going to be your third eye, and your vision, right? Your intuition, your imagination. You have your pituitary, which is going to be how you feel. So thinking and feeling is going to be right up top, positive, negative, right up top. That's going to be your neurogastric nerve running all the way down to your solar plexus. So these 2 things right here, that's the land of milk and honey. You see, because the milk is going to be the pineal gland that secretes the white milk, and then the honey is going to be the gold honey that comes from the pituitary gland. That's the land of milk and honey inside your Bible. That's what I believe. I believe the Bible is a book about human anatomy. I don't believe it's anything else. They use all these people's names and things as code names, essentially, for parts and places inside your body. I've read Dr. Schuster's work, and I've Inez Eudora Perry, and what I started to understand was, there's a book that's called God, Man, Word Made Flesh. Everybody should read this book. It's old, I think it's 1920s that this book was published. There's multiple from those 2. And Schuster was basically the father of the holistic movement of medicine, alternative medicine. He was the one that made the 12 mineral cell salts, German physicist named Dr. Schuster. And he figured out that through studying cadavers of animals and people, that there was 12 mineral cell salts that were missing in deficiency in some way, shape, or form in all these people that were dead and animals that were dead. So when I decided to make my formula, I decided to incorporate and add those cell salts to my formula, which basically changed the game for me and everybody who took it. But that was because I started to go off of truth. So, I wanted to figure out what is the cause of all these things. Deficiency causes it. It's just deficiency. So when you're going into the process and you're looking at why medicine's not the answer, why prescription drugs are killing you, is because all prescription drugs are basically petroleum-based everything. The dye that goes onto the damn pills, it's all petroleum-based, because all Rockefeller had at this moment in time was a monopoly based on oil and gasoline. And he used all the byproducts that were created from the system, and he basically turned it into something that hospitals, oh my gosh, and healers of some sort used to create more sickness, to get them to go back to the hospital so that they can then spend more money at the hospital. These insurance companies are garbage. It's all trash. It's all a system. He funneled you by getting you to take these pills that make you more sick, to go back to go get more pills that make you more sick, and you never ever understand who you really are to break the cycle. You're like a hamster in a wheel. You're caught in a hamster wheel, a prescription drug. So holistic 100% works better. Let's talk about detox diets real quick before I move forward. Detox diets. So they 100% work. You must change your car's oil and you can't drive it. But if you had an electric car, you wouldn't have to change the oil. If you had an electric car, you'd change the battery, but you wouldn't have to change the oil. If you had a hydrogen-based or a water-based car, you would never have to change anything at all. You'd just be driving because you have water everywhere. That's what you want to get to. You want to get to the point where you don't have to change anything anymore. You're so purified from the inside out that your detoxification, it's created a purified system within you that you're always flowing and you're always in the infinite space, in the infinite way. So 100% it works. I mean, I started my first detox process in 2021. I used pill form herbs and supplements. And then I started to go to find liquid, non-alcohol. I didn't want anything alcohol extract. So I started to keep going through the process. Now I'm on value number 7 right now. And within like a week's time, someone can completely change their mind and body, like a whole. You know, I've had clients with eczema. My mentee, she had eczema as her entire life. She had eczema. She got rid of it. I had my best friend. He was high blood pressure, sinus infection. My mom, 2 clogged arteries, high A1C. My father, he had a pig valve that was replaced in his heart with a pig valve. They replaced a valve in his heart with a pig valve. And I've gotten everybody to start using it, and it changed how I looked at it. Especially she was my ex-wife because she divorced me. Now she's my wife now. But thankfully I divorced the old wife that I had, and I purified her. I helped her purify herself. Now she's a new person. So now it's the most wonderful relationship I have now. But prior it was awful, because she was not cleansed from the inside out. So everything that happened prior, it was just because of what was going on inside of her belly, inside of her solar plexus. So when you cleanse somebody, you detox somebody, they lose everything. They squeeze themselves and they turn tiny. It looks like they're bulimic or anorexic. They don't eat. It looks like they're sick, but they're not sick. They're just cleaning themselves. It has to squeeze all the bad energy outside of you, get it back into the bloodstream, and then they can get it expelled outwardly. And that happened to me. I dropped to about 170 pounds, like 20 pounds out of what I am right now. And I was just so grateful. I went through that process, like 8 days. I couldn't eat. I was just changing up who I was, man. It was so wonderful. But during the time, it was painful. But after I got done, you just have this clear, conscious way of being. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. And that's what harmonic resonance does for you. So detoxes do work. I think I have the best one on the market. So if you guys are in need of a detox, click link below in my description and go to my website. You guys can read up on it. It's called the Energy Detox program that I have. And it's big time. It changes your generational patterns and cleanses you of everything. And if you just want to get a bottle so that you can start your own process and do that same thing too, you can do a nighttime formula replenish. More platinum. This is also nighttime. Or you can do awaken daytime formula. The only difference is valerian root. It's not an awaken. So it's just a thought. But detox processes do work. They do, because you must cleanse yourself of bad energy. You always uplift yourself. We always go to somewhere brand new. Every retreat that we've catered and done, things we've gone and bring samples, people can get some sleep and they can, see how transformative it is for them to clean their current energy and go to a new way. It starts to it's like chiseling out the real person. The real person's in there, but you're covered up with all this cement and crap that you've placed on top of you. So you got to get rid of it. You've got to get rid of it. So that's one of the biggest things that detoxes do. They free your energy up, so now you have more energy, infinite energy. And it changes your perception, your perspective on life, and it gets you closer to the creator, like your natural process, your natural way of doing things. Your lifestyle habits are the ones that kill you. So, your lifestyle is a patterns that you express. Your life is all patterns. Everything is patterns, first of all. Not just your life, but everything. It's all patterns. It's all sacred geometry. Geometry is sacred. It's not just some triangles and trapezoids, squares, and it's not like that. It's not like that. It's all circular. Energy travels in circular patterns. So all energy travels in circles. So learn that. That's why you see tornadoes and cyclones and hurricanes, tropical storms, and look at the Weather Channel. You'll see these high pressure systems work. They're flowing in. The high pressure is flowing in. It's rotating like this, and you see low pressure flowing in like that, and it all moves in circular patterns. So all energy flows in circles. So if you don't change lifestyle habits, you'll keep the same life, and that's basically the patterns of thought. You can break that by playing affirmations every day. How long it takes is how long it takes, man. Just do the process. I've been meditating every day since 2019, April 2019, when I went to go get Dr. Joe's books. I started to play self-regular sound frequencies in 2018. Started to go into a mindfulness place in 2016, actually. I started grounding myself. So really 8 years I've been at it, but I really started to get into meditation, just hearing myself think, right? And I can change it because some of those thoughts are awful. You want better thoughts. You can do that for yourself, and also when you meditate, you rehydrate your body and your mind. You take in all the water because water, your water is being used by yourself as you are thinking. As you're thinking, you use water. So it's very powerful for you to notice, or for you to rehydrate yourself. You need to stop thinking, but you can't stop thinking all completely. So what you do is you change the way your thought process is being expressed outwardly. Go into a positive place, to a positive way. You'll start to see everything shift for you. You'll go into the new wave of what you really are. It changes how you look at it. So if you're bloated and gassy, this is one of my last ones I'm going to talk about. Irritable bowel syndrome is actually autoimmune disease, but you've been faked out. Like it's almost like it's some common thing because it's weird how they do this with subconscious programming, but they make it seem like everything's okay. It's just normal. It's not normal. Okay, so no, it's not normal, and most of it is caused by stress. Adrenals are down, your kidneys are down. You guys are drinking gallons of water and you're peeing too much. It's because you're also thinking too much. You're too stressed out. You gotta stop what you're doing. Stop taking things in. Go meditate yourself, because you're running yourself into the ground. So stop. Sit for ideas every now and then. Take a pen and a notebook like this here. Put a mask on and just sit for ideas for a few hours. See what comes to you. Start writing things down. I guarantee you'll write just like normal. You just start writing just like normal. And you'll start writing all types of ideas. Just ask yourself what the answer is. Subconsciously, it'll give you all the answers that you need. But if you're bloated and gassy, it's mainly because of stress, and you're not digesting your food. And also, it's not food that you're eating. You're eating crap. You're eating processed crap, like created garbage. That's what you're eating. So you gotta check yourself. And mainly it's just, look, this whole year, 2024, it's gonna be, it's all about living in truth. It's just living in truth. Stop living the lie that you're broke, that you ain't got it, that you're too afraid, that you can't make it happen. Stop doing that. Water your tree every single day. I used to do that. I used to be homeless. I used to think nobody cared what I was. It's just me, because everybody's reflection of you. So I'm the one that didn't care. Nothing to do with anybody else. I'm the one that didn't care. I'm the one that didn't believe in my own craft and my own process. I didn't believe in it. Doesn't do anybody else. I'm the one that said I couldn't ask for help. It was me. So I started to connect myself to everything, because I only believe that everything is in the mind of God. So if everything's in the mind of God, it wants me to win. It's here to help me. It's doing everything for me. So my job is just to focus on what is it that I'm supposed to be doing. Do it to the best of my ability, in the highest form and function, with the most passion. Go the extra mile. And it's changed how I perceive the world at every time, every moment in time, point in space. And just be organized. Just be organized. Just show up every day. Just show up every day. Just show up and live every day. Don't take any more days for granted. You're taking too many days for granted. So the majority of you are living on your couches, playing games all day. Some people play games all day because it takes care of them. So don't judge that either. Some people have income that comes from that. Streamers, people like that. But I'm always telling people, like, base it on what you do, what you really do really well, that you love to do. So some people love to play sports, some people love to act, some people love to speak. Whatever you really love to do that, because you only get to be here in this time, in this vessel, one time. Don't force the outcome. Don't go with these type of stressful situations. You want to be a billionaire? Tell God to make you a billionaire. You'll be a billionaire. You want to be a millionaire? Same thing. You want to have a harmonious relationship? Same thing. You got to write it down. You got to write things down. Write things down. Take a pen and write things down. Exercise for the night. Why don't you guys stop what you're doing before you go to sleep? Stop the routine pattern that you got going right now and just sit there and use your imagination and think before you go to sleep. 300 things that you really want. Then increase it to 400 and then 500. Just keep on adding to the list. And then figure out what the most important thing that can get you all of that. Figure out what the most important thing. Usually you'll ask for a bunch of things, and then the money to get them will be like an afterthought. It's like, no, ask for the money first. Shoot, ask for the money. Ask the creator for the money first, and then start writing down the shopping list, everything that you're gonna buy with that money, because you're gonna have service that you're gonna help. You're gonna find a solution to a problem that many people have, and then watch what happens when you do that. Think whatever you want, So just think about it. Just think about doing things in a new way, in a new progression of time, because we're in a consciousness space where everyone's being awakened now to all the fakes and all the facades and people who they thought were leaders, but they weren't leaders. They weren't thought leaders. They were just thought scammers, simply. Don't be a thought scammer, a thought fraudster, what I'm saying? Live in truth and really be a thought leader, So if this video helped you guys, in any way, shape, or form, like, share, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. Whenever we post new content, you guys can be notified. And click the link in my description. I got 2 herbal formulas, Awaken, Replenish, and Ash Platinum's coming out. So I actually have 3 herbal formulas. So whichever one that you guys are looking for, daytime, nighttime, you get a full detox cleanse. I have basically a VIP one-on-one for people high net worth. If you need some one-on-one help, which basically means prepping a biological plant-based diet, personal training, spirit training, meditation, and everything that we do. Go look us up. Ready to help you, provide some awesome content and some great value. So, like I said, like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.